parked out tapping in with another video, and I want to say that rabbit trails are great, but if you go down the one, you can't say they're not interesting, but you can forget how and why and where you came somewhere on a rabbit trail. So these videos I do fly off, and I had to go back and watch the other one to remember, to recall where I was going with it. So I was saying that I had two ones for somebody. So the one was that how may you appreciate potentially the what's it called, the future to the letter, without missing anything, and like more exact than an oracle, more exact than an accountant reviewing last year's revenue for an oracle's ass. More exact than that would be to appreciate that all things, and I do mean all things, exist, and even choices and decisions exist within some form of a cycle. There's choice within the cycle, but it's still part of a cycle. And if you could really appreciate this cycle, you could actually spell the future to the T. I have a T and an I in my name, and you could cross all the T's and dot the I's. You could start with crossing the T and dot you could cross the first T, and but please don't cross me, because my nickname had been T for long. And you could also dot the last I. That actually might have been a cooler nickname. It's called me I. What's up, I? How you doing, I? I don't think anyone's had that nickname before. Man, fuck I fuck that dude, I. man, no, man, I'm saying, no, man, because like that's that bullshit I'm talking about. Fuck I, man. When I see I'm a fuck I up. That'd be, but you could say that with T, like, man, T's a little bitch, man. Man, T, but man, whatever he was like, man, I's a bitch. I's a bitch, man. No, fuck that. I's a bitch, man. That I's a biatch, man. So I should have nicknamed myself I that whole time, and then because I had like a lot of jobs, right? Like even in the area where I'm at now, and they're always calling me. A lot of people wouldn't care to learn to pronounce my name or like a cooler nickname, because I've had cooler nicknames in my life, like one called, like a lot, like when I was a little kid, some would call me Tango. Like, that was a pretty cool nickname. Some beautiful people called me Tango before. But then I had if you actually want a proper, you're not getting onto a cool name or nickname unless a soul brother had something to say about it. Preferably from the Midwest, the East Coast, the Dirty South, and the West Coast will get it done. But some Midwest players can give you some smooth nicknames. Maybe I'm just a little bit jaded because I'm from the Midwest. But it took a brother from Chicago to come up here and call me Gainey. He called me that. He's like, man, I had to upgrade my. He's like, what up, Gainey? What up, Gainey? Man, I just had to upgrade, man. I was telling these fools I had to upgrade on some stuff. But how you living, Gainey? Yeah, that's a brother from Chicago, man. I had and then it had been I'm in the area where I'm at now. One of the first time I actually had a conversation as men. Like the first, I was from a high school that they had like a lot of clout where I'm at. It was like in the center of the city. But then there was like another high school that's like in a little bit more well-to-do, but it's not any less savvy or smoother. And they have some killers in sports too. But it's a little bit more low-key, and like they're from like a smaller. They had like a smaller group of schools that fed into them, so they were like a little bit of a niche community. But they actually came over. I had like a high school sweetheart in 9th grade, like puppy love. But that was some real puppy love. We'd be calling each other on school nights in 9th grade. But it took a brother from this other, not the well-to-do, not the killers from Mighty Duck. Where I'm actually from the area of the Mighty Ducks, where you have like I actually sometimes go right exactly through the Mighty Ducks territory. And so I don't know actually where the regular team was from in the Mighty Ducks, but the well-to-do ones I know where they're from. But then we have another version of that, like as football and basketball go in my area, the real killers. The killers are just killers. They're like the black reindeer in Rudolph. Yeah, Rudolph is cool. He's fly. You can't get certain things done without Rudolph. But don't mess with Dancer, Blitzen, Donner, and Cupid, no less. Especially Cupid. Don't mess with any of them. They don't do all the fancy extra stuff, the over the top, the shiny stuff. They're just about that black nose. They put their nose straight to the business like that. They're cool like that. They get in and out all the right places, and they're having I think the female reindeers will be checking for them on Christmas. Yes, they're checking. That had been Rudolph that whole time. They didn't know Rudolph was that sturdy. But more or less, as we come back to landing after dropping off the presents, it's going to be getting back to the Black-Nosed Reindeer. So then we got the Black-Nosed Reindeer School, but then we also got a school on a hill where there's some savvy guys, and you can't put nothing past them. And so they might be having some fun with your girlfriend on a Friday night. Had been my case. But I digress. But it had been a brother from that school that he didn't get over on me. He was way ahead. He was like older than me. But I met him when he was out of school, and I was just at the end of school. But he had been from Chicago, and he was calling me like Joe a lot, you know. But he was actually telling me a lot about life. That's the first time that someone actually talked to me like a man, like that actually told me like something that I need to know to get along in life. It had always more so been soul brothers that like I find like a lot of American guys, like white American guys. They'll get you up into a good deal. Like they'll get you an opportunity. They'll tell you how to get something done. They can put you onto some cool stuff, and they'll rock with you if they really rock with you. They're down for you like that. But some of your soul brothers, they'll actually give you the seasoning to cope with and exist in overcoming an environment, and actually they know what time it is. And that was my experience with that brother like that from Chicago. But I met some cool people that always call me cool nicknames. But I should have been at these jobs. They always just want to call me T. Hey T, what's up? Hey T. But I was hey T man, we're gonna have to talk to you, man, because at one time I had like a money changer come in there when I was on the register, and he did like some kind of sleight of hand with like money, and I was pretty green back then. It's actually surprising that I could work at a pharmacy and a clerk as long as I did at some of the hours I did, and not have more stuff go off the rails, being as green as I was. But one time a money changer came in there, and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, can I get a 5?" He's like, "Oh yeah, man, but what about this? What about that, man? Let me get a 2 instead. No, but one, two, let me get 4 back. Okay, good. Just give me the 20, man. I give you 20, man. Give me the 20 back. Give me the 20 back." I was like, and then I was like, and then I go up to the office. They had like that was like a regular pharmacy, but they actually had like a room that sat over. They had a room that was elevated that sat over the store with like 2-way windows, and they had a camera apparatus in there, and they were all about surveillance that whole time. I only went in there a handful of times that my whole time there. I would like knock, and they'd always like peep out. But I was like, I think someone might have just I think someone might have just got me with like one of those money schemes like that. They're like, okay, we'll check on it. They came back out. Yeah, he got you. But I was thinking like instead of them, because you can imagine how that would go by them calling me T. But it would be funny if my nickname had been I that whole time, which it could have easily been, because that's the last letter of my name is I, and the first letter is T. But hey I, we gotta talk about you, man. So when he came through, yeah, I got you. So yeah, he had got you for $20. So it's a good thing you told us about that, because you would came up short. And and then the other guy, like a real killer, he was actually one time when we stopped having that store, he said that he loved me, and that he was like he said that he would damn near go to war for me. That is how much he loved me. He told me that. But at that time, before we finished there, he was like yeah, but it would be funny if he called me I. He's like, yeah, it looked like you were basically handing him money. I mean, it's a little bit questionable. I mean, it looked like you were about handing him money at a certain point. And this isn't my first rodeo, and I'm not expecting you to be a cowboy I. But I know you're not a cowboy I. But it looked like you were handing him money at that point. It looked like that I. It's just funny if you just change the terms, but I digressed with that a little bit. But I wanted to say that so you can anticipate what is going to happen near about just by appreciating that things exist within cycles. Even our choices are yet a function of different cycles, and within cycles and inform cycles that redouble, and we experience the consequence of that. But what may be limiting, but if you were to say variable, so you do have free will, choice, and also chance and chaos, for lack of a better word. You actually need chaos. Things would be completely stifled and insufferable if you didn't actually have authentic chaos. So you do have chaos, but if you were to say variable, that variable may not compute and calculate at that degree of sophistication and eloquence and sublime experience that is logical yet also beyond, within, and less than, and more and greater than logical is illogical. But you have that. But when you say variable, the variable is certain. The variable is settled. It is decided for. Therefore limited. So the variable can't contend with existence, which is unlimited. But you still do have a range of chaos and chance and variation. But still things exist as a cycle and may amount to and play out to exactly what started.